Hello, hello, hello. It is Adrienne Capricorntigress of Astrology, A Look Inside. And we are graced today with Siobhan Lyons. And she is going to come and talk to us about passion-driven spiritual entrepreneurs. We're going to talk about female passion-driven entrepreneurs. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm so excited to have Emma here with us. Emma helps purpose-driven female entrepreneurs release their inner blocks that are holding them back from their next level of success. So they have the fulfillment of doing it, right? Of achieving this, of what they love, and how to make great money. I love that.
How to make great money and do what you love together. Exactly.
Yes. And
because so many people, right? They think you have to choose between doing what you love and making great money. You know, this is why people are doing the boring job that they hate, because they think they can't do their passion. And what I show to people is that is just a limiting belief. And once you release all that bullshit, then you can really rock your purpose and you can make great money doing the work you love, right?
I love it, Emma. I love it. I love it. And I will mention too that Emma is the founder of Experience True Self. And she has over 10 years experience helping hundreds of people to create more fulfillment, joy, and abundance in their lives through her energy healing work and Kundalini yoga.
Yeah.
She has firsthand experience of transitioning from a planned career as a human rights lawyer to energy work and yoga. And on this journey, she has had to overcome deep-seated fears that held her back for many years, and it prevented her from stepping into her power and becoming successful. So I'm excited because Emma, you're an amazing person. Okay, I can already tell. There's a little bit more here that you wrote. So I'm just going to read this to them so they get an idea. So this, combined with her detailed understanding of trauma and its impact on subconscious belief systems, means that she can easily guide people to release their limiting beliefs and fears at the core of procrastination, imposter syndrome, lack of confidence, and self-doubt that can hold people back from finding fulfillment, joy, and success in their lives. And she teaches how you can have it all in your business and personal life, and helps purpose-driven women find their sweet spot of success. I love this. I love this, Emma. You've got to tell me more about this, and especially about making the great money and finding true fulfillment, because there's so many people who struggle with this.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's really sad that people, but there is this kind of concept out there that you have to do work is work and passion is something different. And there's this really deeply held belief that you can't make money doing things that are fun for you. You know, you can only make money when it's work, when it's hard. There's this really, like, you have to work hard for the money. And I've found, like, working hard hasn't worked for me, Working hard has been, like, counterproductive. Things work for me when I get into that flow state, when it gets fun, when I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing, when I'm on that high vibration. Then people can feel that, they pick up that energy. And that's when you get into the flow state. This is what scientists are talking about now. It's not about hard work. That is bullshit. It's about getting into flow, being authentically you, and then just shining your light. You become like a magnet for everything that you're there to be and everything that you're there to attract. So hard work is the exact opposite of that.
Isn't that amazing? It's funny too, because when you're in a good high energy place, it's almost like you don't even feel like you're working. You blink your eyes and it's done. It's like,
exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
I can tell you're doing it, Adrienne. I can see that you're doing what you love. And when people are doing what they love, it shows. They shine. They shine. But most people, they're not shining because they're not doing what they love, and that's a real shame. But I really see the gift of this COVID situation, because it has forced a lot of people to kind of go inside. They've lost things, they've lost their job, and they've asked the question, is this really where I want to be? Is this really what I want to do with my life? And I've seen lots of people shift to, start businesses, to do something that's more in alignment with who they really are. And I think that is amazing. COVID has been really beautiful for helping people to kind of go inside all the stuff that they've been avoiding, really see what that is. For some people, we clear it out and come out as stronger and brighter. Yeah.
It's amazing when you think of how many people aren't really living in their purpose. Like they're
absolutely,
a lot of drudgery, I guess, but they're not doing much in their heart or what they love. And I feel
they're not doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah, I feel like they were trained to be that way, like younger. At least I was in my age group. It was almost like work hard and make money. Go to school, get education, and then you'll make money. And I know I have a daughter who is, you won't believe this, but my daughter is almost 35. And
no way. I want to know about your skin regime, please.
I'm almost 60, and I can honestly tell you, I've been addicted to Proactive Plus for almost 25 years. So it's what I do. But one of the things she said to me, and she said it with tears in her eyes, was I was told all I had to do was go to college, get an education, and then I was going to be a success. And no one told me about all the work and having to pay back the debt and, all the struggle and not being able to do whatever it is you have to do. And there's a lot of resentment amongst young people who feel like they're just struggling to pay back their college loans and things like that. So do you come across, do you come across people?
Absolutely. I mean, people, there's this kind of line that's pushed on people that you got to work hard in school. Your whole life is basically working hard until you retire, so you're not allowed to live. You're not allowed to enjoy yourself until you retire. I mean, it's like, so you're just working hard all your life until you retire, and then you don't work anymore. Then you can enjoy life. Why not enjoy life now and do what you're passionate about? Because that is just a bullshit belief, and it's so deeply ingrained. We all have it on some level of our consciousness, and it's our job to really transcend that belief within ourselves. Because the more we step into our purpose, Adrienne, the more we do that, we give other people, we act as that example for other people, so that they can be like, oh, I don't have to do this job. I don't have to go and work for the man in a bank or something that I hate. I can actually follow my passion, follow my heart, and really find that alignment. They see that it's possible.
Beautiful. One of the most beautiful things I've experienced is talking with all of you spiritual entrepreneurs, is that you're each following your heart's passion. Like it's a spiritual path, but it's your path. So it's individualized in a way. And it's beautiful as I see people on these journeys. They're all spiritual in their own way, and they're helping people in their own way, but they're slightly different. So it's great that you found this way to help people. When you're talking with people about their passion or lack of being in their passion, how do you help them to get out of that mindset that they've got to do the drudgery?
Right. Well, it all starts with their belief systems. So if you have a feeling that something's wrong in your life, that you don't love what you're doing, what I do is I help people find out what that belief is, because you can't have a feeling about anything without having a belief about it first. So I help them to find out what the belief is. And, you will have picked that belief up maybe from your mom or dad when you're a child, because I mean, most of these beliefs are picked up as children, like before the age of 7. We are like constantly in the theta brainwave. So we're like absorbing everything. And as a child, we have no filter. So even if there are no big traumas that happen in our life, if you're a highly sensitive child, you can misinterpret things. Your parents can say no to you, and you can internalize that to make it mean that you're a bad person or something that as an adult seems ridiculous. But to that child, and they give that meaning, and they could go their whole life feeling that they're not enough, because of, little things that happened as a child that created that trauma within them, and they developed this belief system that they weren't good enough. And then, this plays out their whole life, because what you believe, you see. If you believe I'm not good enough, you see that everywhere. You create this cycle of disappointment and frustration. You're always trying to prove that you're good enough and always disappointing yourself, because deep down, that's your belief: I'm not enough. So it ends up being a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the idea is to really change that belief, release the trauma that's all there, so that you can become a new person. You can de-traumatize yourself, and it can happen really quickly. You don't need to re-traumatize yourself. You don't need to lie on a psychiatrist's couch for 10 years. It can happen in a second, in a heartbeat. That's how quick it can happen. You can let go of all that stuff, and you can really step into who you really are. Because the thing is, all this stuff, it's just kind of covering that we've taken on to hide ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's not actually us. So it's ready to go. We're holding on to it because it feels comfortable, it feels safe, because we've been holding on to it for 30, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. We think it's part of us. We're holding on to it. It feels safe to us. So what I do is I work with the subconscious to show, right, it's safe to let go now, and show the person's energy. Another way of being that's more in alignment with their true self, true experience, true self, because that's what it's all about. It's all about going back to the core of who you really are.
Oh, I love that. And we've sometimes, I guess, life takes that core away from us. Like, we get caught up in what other people think, or these messages. I don't know if you picked up earlier, I had talked about it, but I was 500 pounds and in a wheelchair for a year. Like, I was in a wheelchair for about 7 years. They had told me I was never going to walk again. And I willed myself up to stand, and then I willed myself to dance, and then I created this person, just because it was in my heart to be me, and I was tired of not being me. And that's how I became, I just stood up. And I had a life in depth experience right after that. That was 2014, so 7 years. And I think that was it. I mean, we have one life. Like, are you going to spend it hiding, or are you going to at least try to do what your heart really wants to do? And so I'm in that process now of doing what my heart wants.
Well, I can see, everybody wants to look younger. And the way to look younger is to be your true self. All these anti-aging products are great, but when you're in the hard slog, you're in the stress, and you're aging faster, because you're not in the moment. You're creating a lot more time for yourself. Whereas if you're doing what you love and you're like totally flowing with it, you don't age as much, you stay young. So if just purely from a physical point of view, it's just good for your body, it's good for your soul, it's good for your energy. You're going to be happier. If people are committed to not doing what they love, I mean, you're never going to be really happy. You may make a lot of money, but you're not going to be fulfilled. And is that really success? I mean, I don't think so. Success is not just making a lot of money. That's a very narrow definition of success. Success is when you have it all. When you are making great money, you can choices, you can do what you love, you have so much to give, you're doing what you love, you're sharing, you're being your true authentic self. You're not hiding behind some facade that you've created.
Just putting yourself out there. That's the hardest part, is just saying, look, this is me. This is me, right? Yeah. And whatever that is. And I have to tell you, it did take a hypnotist to get me to that point. I still remember there's a movie called The Greatest Showman, and there was a woman from Hawaii that sang the lead to that, Kalika something. And my hypnotist shared that with me, and she sang a song called This Is Me. And I just remember I broke down and bawled, because it was right after my husband left me. And I was feeling I was not good enough. There was something wrong with me. I was imperfect. I was not a good wife. I was, all these things that, you know, you start to think when you're left, because I was ghosted. And so after that, I started embracing, I'm still embracing, this is me. I'm enough.
I want to listen to that song. I really want to listen to that song now. I think I've heard it, but I've never really, you know.
I can find that. It's so beautiful. I almost want to look it up even while we're talking. Hold on for a second.
I have a vague idea of what it is. I'm sure I've heard it, but I've never like really taken it in. I've never breathed it in and fully listened to it.
I can find
immerse myself in it.
I will actually play it for us because I think that message, like I said, it changed my life. But that message that comes from it is so amazing. And we don't even realize it. I wonder if I can, there was one, he played it for me. I wish I could find that. The one he played for me, let me see if I can find it. It was when they auditioned, and here it is, I think it is, with her name is Kiela Settle. And I'm going to play this just so we can inspire the world. Let's see if you can hear it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
Let me see if I can get to the singing part.
And we have heard it before. And
she's an overweight woman.
I didn't even want to come out.
And she was very shy. Hold on, I'm going to get to the point where they have her sing. Yeah, here it is. And her voice.
This is actually in the movie. You're playing it in the movie.
Wow. Well, this is me, yeah. And this is the part when she goes to audition, their actual audition. And up until this point, her being an overweight woman, she had been they didn't know what was really there until she got in front of 20th Century Fox and did this.
Wow.
See, can you hear that?
It isn't very good, but I can hear it.
I'll put the link in for you too. I had to share that. I know it took a little bit of moment of our talk, but I always get so teary because how many people, and I shared that link with you because I want you to see her. You literally see her
I saw
transform.
her. I had a look. Well, I had a sneaky
Yes,
look
she
while you
takes
were
off
saying
her
that.
glasses, she stands up, and she's like a 250-pound woman or whatever, but by the time she's like all over the place, and she's like, this is me.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. Every time I hear that song, I get choked up
Yeah.
because I was that person hiding.
Yeah.
And there's so many of us that hide.
Yeah.
I don't know where it comes from. What
Yeah.
is it in our society that causes, especially women, I think we
Yeah.
hide?
Yeah. This is why I do what I do, because people are hiding, and it's on a massive scale. And that's partly what this COVID thing is about, because COVID, it's interesting that it affects this area, the heart center, the heart chakra, and we are so disconnected from our heart. We are up here, we are in our heads, we are the heart, we're not allowing the heart to do its thing. The heart, the energy from the heart is so much more powerful than the energy from the brain, and it's supposed to be leading the show, and we are just up in our heads all the time. We're very out of touch with our heart, and I feel like this is what COVID is showing us, that we have so much sickness and we have dis-ease of the heart because we're so disconnected from who we really are.
Emma, how do we help people to get back in touch with their hearts?
Yeah. Well, it requires that burning desire, and really, finding help, getting help, really having that desire and finding a way to figure out what it is that you want to be doing. It's already in there. You know what you're going to be doing, what you want to be doing. It's not true that you don't know. It's in there. It's just about getting rid of all this conditioning. Using, like, I use energy work, but there are other ways too. So using whatever works for you to release those blocks, those beliefs, all of that stuff that's like in the way of who you are, that's blocking your heart from expanding into your true self. And like, you're right, it's a fear of being seen. We have been taught that we're not good enough. So this is why people have hidden themselves, because there's like a global kind of belief that's like all over the world, especially in the Western world, of I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. So when you feel that way, you have to hide. You have to create some kind of wall, some kind of barrier, and people do it in lots of different ways, but there's this huge disconnect, and most people are not doing what they love and are extremely disconnected at the heart, and they're so unhappy. I have this book. I don't know if you've heard of this book, the five regrets of the dying. Have you heard of this book?
Oh no, that sounds interesting.
It is really interesting because when people are dying, what their top regret is.
Oh wow.
The top regret is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself. Regret number one. Regret number two, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. No, regret number three, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Regret number four, I wish I'd stayed in touch with friends. And regret number five, I wish I had let myself be happier.
Oh my gosh, isn't that amazing?
They don't regret making the money. They don't regret, I wish I'd made more money. They don't regret, those aren't the things that you can't take that stuff with you when you die. You regret the things that you haven't done.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm here to show people how to embrace who they really are, so that they can die without that regret, without their music inside them, because it's really sad when someone dies and they've still got such an amazing music to share with the world. They die with the music still inside them.
It's heartbreaking, Emma. I'm telling you, it's why I do what I do. I always feel at this age I could go anytime. I've lost so many people I love. And when you get to be close to 60, you realize, hey, no, there's nothing promised.
Yeah, but I mean, it's true. It's true for all of us, no matter what age you are. You could die at any moment. Even if you're 19 or 17 or whatever, you can die at any moment. You can, COVID might kill you, but you could walk outside the door and a car could hit you. Anything could happen. There are so many ways that you could die.
Yeah.
And I think there's a massive, this COVID thing, people are afraid of dying.
Yeah.
But really, the real problem is people are afraid to live.
Yeah, they're afraid of living.
They're afraid to really live. It's like that. There's what is it in Braveheart? He says, everybody dies, but not everybody really lives, and that's still, my microphone wasn't on, and that's still really, really true. That most people they don't really live.
Yeah.
They're hiding big time, and most people don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Because people are afraid to look. They're afraid to, I've seen people, like when I teach yoga and meditation, sometimes people come and, they get triggered by something, they start feeling something uncomfortable and they run away. They don't want to feel that. So they just leave. So instead of facing the stuff and confronting it, they don't want to look at themselves. And the fear there is that, if I go exploring myself, I'm going to find out that it's actually true. That I'm not enough, rather than it just being a theory. That's what's really at the heart of that. It is, yeah.
I mean,
people are afraid to discover that all of the stuff they think about themselves is true, so they don't want to do that work. They don't want to do the hard work, but it's actually, it's not hard because you're just letting go of stuff that isn't you. That's easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's much easier than carrying around with this heavy load of stuff that isn't you your whole life, that it ages you and makes time move very slowly. It makes life a big struggle, and why would anyone want to live like that?
I know I have a hard time going out alone. I don't like to go out alone. It's my problem. I've accepted it. I'll stay in my house a year without if someone doesn't come get me. Now, as an astrologer, I know why that is. I have a Taurus moon. Literally in the book, it says, if you want a Taurus moon to come to your party, you better send a car to pick them up. And that's me. Send me a car. I'll be there. But
But are you happy to being that way? Is that your sweet spot?
Yeah, I think that's my speed. I think I'm not the
well, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not the go out in your face type of person, but if I go to a party and a car is sent and it's good party, I'll party with the rest of them. It's a crazy thing, isn't it? But if I'm left on my own, I'll just stay here and work or do whatever it is I feel like doing. I don't need other people in that way. It's a weird thing, right? But I know after looking at my horoscope that it's actually there. It's not something I'm doing, it's something I am. So I've got this theory that there's some things that people do and there's some things that people are, and we got to just figure out where that line is. Like, are we being ourselves or are we just doing that because that's what society made us think we should do?
Yeah, exactly. And also, are you happy being like that? That's the key thing. So are you happy being the way that you are? If it makes you happy, if it's like that, then you know that it's you. Yeah. Whereas if you're like, oh, I wish I wasn't like this, you can change it. If you're not happy with something that's something within yourself, then you can change it. You are not stuck. You are not fixed like this. You are not broken. We can all change, we can all evolve, and that's what life is all about. Life is all about becoming more of who we really are and evolving into that.
Amazingly, even though I'm a homebody, I've lived in like 10 different cities. So when the urge does hit me to do something, I do it usually. So that's not it. I just don't I'm not that out in the face person. Like, some people really need to be out. The man I had married was a really gregarious type of man. He liked to be at the pub every day or, every weekend, and go to lots of different games and things. I don't do that without him. And I think it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I loved it when I was with them, but on my own, I don't do that. I don't go to games or anything like that. But I don't miss anything.
Well, you know, I can understand that. I mean, it's more fun to go to places with someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing it if I'm not alone, but I'm not. I guess I play good on my own. Like I got a podcast, I got stuff to do, but you know, I always worry about that. Like, am I missing something because other people were out there? And I feel like this COVID thing made people more like me because I've been living this way for a long time. Like, I'm always inside pretty much, unless there's something going on. I work at home. And I wonder if you come across people like that. Have you met other people like that who are kind of self-contained in that way?
Oh yeah, totally. There are definitely people like that. You know, people who are very introverted and don't like coming out of their shell too much. But you have an extroverted side as well.
I do. Like I say, once I get to the party, I am the life of the party. Usually I just pick me up to get me to the party. Like I don't take buses or anything like that. I won't do it. I'd rather stay home. And that's a weird mindset, but I guess it's something about me and I don't know, a weird thing.
There's nothing wrong with it as long as you're happy with that. You don't need to worry about it.
I'm definitely want to join your group because I saw here you had given me some insight about your group. Emma has a Facebook group, which let's see here, and then you've got your own YouTube channel, Instagram, Experience True Self. Tell us more about all of this. I mean, you're on Clubhouse. You've got a lot going on, Emma.
Yeah, I mean, I'm focusing mostly on Facebook and Clubhouse at the moment because that's where I can really share a little bit more and a little more deeply. So I have a Facebook group which is all about female entrepreneurs and it's passion driven. So I want to work with I work with women who are, you know, following their passion, and it can be people at any stage of the journey. It can be people who just have maybe an idea of something they want to do and, you know, ready to are thinking about it, are people who are a little further along, because, you know, we all have these blocks, you know, no matter how successful you are, there are people earning 7 figures, millions of pounds, and they've hit their upper limit, you know. So we have like a what's it called, a thermostat, you know, for how much money we allow into our life. You may notice like in your bank account there's like a set point that's always there, right?
Oh my gosh, Emma, I've got to work with you. You know, no matter how hard I work, I've got a glass ceiling. My daughter's broken a glass ceiling. You know, she's made like 6 figures. I've not made 6 figures in a month or you know, anything like, not that anyone has to make 6 figures in a month.
No.
But it's the idea that I've got this ceiling. I'm not allowing myself to make.
Exactly, you know, and this is why I love the work I do, because when I work with people to break through their glass ceiling or whatever they've created there to up the thermostat, you know, it's really, really fun to see how other areas of their life change as well, you know. So we're not just working about business, you know, it changes how they relate to people, how they feel about themselves, other areas of their life change. So it just kind of up levels everything. But yeah, money, there's a safety level. How much money is safe for you to have, you know, and that will be set at childhood and you can kind of push it up. Even people like Tony Robbins, he'll be hitting the glass ceiling, a very high glass ceiling, but it's there and he'll be still working through those limitations. Everyone has limiting beliefs. It's just how aware are you of your limiting beliefs and are you working through them? And this is why I love working with entrepreneurs, because as an entrepreneur, you're facing that, you know, you have no choice. If you want to be successful, you have to deal with your demons. You can't hide, because then you won't be successful.
I know I've got a money block. I know I do. It's weird because no matter how much money I make, I tend to take that money and then I'll go out and I'll reinvest it. The problem in like little doohickey things though, like stuff I have to work on, but then I won't work on them. So I own all these all these businesses, all this stuff. And the other day I was called my daughter and I'm like, I was testing her and I'm like, this is like I guess it was like $497. She's like, Mom, do you really need to have any more business? Do you really need this? And when she said that, I realized, oh, I'm chasing something.
Yeah.
I don't need this. And I
Yeah.
don't know what that is that makes me do that.
Yeah. No, but it's when it's normal. I just want to
Oh my
tell
God.
you, this is normal,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
If you've got the limitation, I don't know, say, I don't know, $10,000 a month, right? That's how much you're
It's
set.
bad because I was brought up in poverty, so I'm fighting. No matter how successful, I'm
Yeah.
still trying to stay in. I know I'm doing
Yeah.
something weird to stay
Yeah.
where I feel comfortable instead of letting
Yeah.
myself
Yeah.
just expand into whatever.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly. That's all it is. That's all it is. And you know, that child part of you, they don't, you know, I had this too. I've had every single block going, right? Every single one of them. All the sabotages, I've had them. Done them all, right? You know, so that like child, little girl inside of you, she's, you know, she doesn't want to, you know, become outside your family. You know, the family is your tribe. It's your survival, you know. You want to be loved, you want to be accepted, you want to be part of the tribe. That means, you know, not going above your tribe. That's like a security thing, you know. It's a security thing. It's like a life and death thing for that child, right? Because if you're out of the tribe, your survival is you're not going to survive on your own. So you're fighting that consciously. You're trying to earn the 6 figures or whatever it is, and you've got that going on in your unconscious. It's going to be, you're just going to be struggling, and you're going to be going round and round in circles until you deal with that. And you're going to call it fate. You're going to call it bad luck. You're going to call it, but that's what it is. It's all inside of yourself. And this isn't about blaming anyone. This is about, well, you have the power, girl. You can change it because it's all inside you. So congratulations.
Oh, I feel like I just had an aha just talking to you just now. I am sabotaging my money.
Yes.
What am I doing?
But this is amazing because you've had that realization, and now we can change that.
So, I mean, I know I got to join your group, but what's the first step that I need to take to stop this pattern, obviously, of make the money, spend the money, waste
Yeah.
it?
Well, you could start, you know, well, I mean, when I work with people, I help them find out what the beliefs are, and then we kind of clear that energy. So I would suggest like having a conversation with me where we like really go deep into that and see where we could go with it. But you can journal about it as a first step. You can start saying, so what am I, because this isn't, you know, you being frivolous, you know, you can beat yourself up, but that's not going to help. That's going to make it worse. Say, right, what am I afraid of here? What's the worst thing that will happen if I hit the 6 figures?
Right.
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? If you hit those 6 figures, what's the worst thing that could happen? Just like let your mind go there. Don't worry about it. You know, there's this whole idea that you have to stay positive. That's also bullshit. So you cannot, this is called spiritual bypass, when you like skip over the shadow and you're in the pixie dust and the cookies and the unicorns. That's spiritual bypassing. You got to go through it to come out the other side. You got to face your shadow to really claim your light. It's not enough to just focus on the positive. And that's really my message. And it does not have to be painful. It's not painful to go there. You don't have to traumatize yourself. You don't have to relive it. You don't have to talk about it for 6 years or lie on a couch and relive it and know everything about it. You can just let it go like that.
It's so funny because one of my first podcast guests kind of stumbled onto this money block that I've got. And I had told him about my mother, who when I buried her, we had to bury her in a pauper's grave because I didn't have the money. And she died a pauper, at literally waiting for a Social Security check. And I think that stuck in my heart because she was buried basically near a dump site. And my daughter has made the money since to go back and give her a really nice headstone. So that was one of the first things we worked on, was getting her a headstone. But there is this part of me that feels I don't know if it's guilt
Yeah.
about that, about
Yes.
soaring beyond that, or if that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But this is it's guilt. You know, we don't want to leave our parents behind. It's we have that little child part of ourselves doesn't want to become more, because we don't want to make our parents feel bad.
oh my gosh,
That's so much love, you know. There's so much love there.
I love her, I still do. I feel like whatever I do or my daughter does or my nieces do, that we're carrying on, you know, whatever she wasn't able to accomplish, because I feel like she died with those dreams, like you said.
Yeah.
I was taking care of her, she was in my home at the time, and I just remember she got so angry at the end. And then I remember her, she's right before she died, she screamed, "That's not right, this makes no sense." And I remember they said someone famous had said something like, "It doesn't make sense," or whatever, but she was screaming, "It makes no sense, it makes no sense." And I was like, what happened? But I never got to, because she was so ill, and we never got to feel, I always wondered, did she see something? Like what was that? And I've always felt bad because she died with tears in her eyes, because she, you know,
Yeah,
unfulfilled.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's really, from what you've said there, I really understand why part of you is feeling that guilt, but really this is not on you. And the best way to honor her is to actually live your highest life. That's your best way of honoring her. You've got to live your best life, because she couldn't do that. You have a chance to do that, to break through all those blocks and be you, girl. That's what you've got to do. That's the only way you can honor her in the highest way. Being guilty, that ain't going to help her. That's going to keep you down. And that's going to make you, you know, it's going to lead to the same thing.
Yeah.
So to honor her memory, to honor everything that she stood for, you've got to live your life to the highest.
I love that. I definitely am, and I know my daughter does. I know that she lives for her, and that's probably what spurs her on. And I'm sure she doesn't want the same for me, so that might be spurring her on. But I had to get past the guilt, and so I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to definitely hang out at your group. So that's one of the
But
things.
it's so beautiful because, you know, this is what she's given to you. That's a gift. So now you're even more driven to do it. Like, so that's a fucking gift.
Yeah. And I do. I feel like it's so weird. Even if I felt like I
Yeah.
wanted to just give up, I can't. There's something in me that
Yeah.
gets me up every day and put makeup on, come out here to go. And it's fun. It's the fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the fun part. So I like, maybe it is that a part of me, I do want to achieve more for her, and
Yeah. And for you.
for me too. I can
Yeah.
honestly say it is. I want to honor my mother. So
Yeah. That's
I
so
it all,
beautiful.
yeah, both her and my oldest brother died. He died alone and penniless in the prison system, and I have guilt about that because he had gotten paroled, but I had lived in an apartment at the time, and they didn't allow people with felonies, so he couldn't live with me. So he had to stay in that Pennsylvania, and they put him in some type of home. He only had one leg, he had diabetes. And I just remember they had called, and he was crying because they had not given him a chair or taken away his chair. And I remember speaking with the woman there, and she was so nasty. And she was saying, well, he's committed a crime while in this facility. I think he had ordered some shoes with a credit card fraud or something. And she's like, we're going to call the state trooper. We're going to call the troopers on them or something. And I'm like, regardless of what you do, at least get him a wheelchair. I mean,
Mm.
where's he going to go? He's got one leg. At least give him a wheelchair so he can go to the bathroom, he can eat food, he can do whatever
Yeah.
he needs to do. And sure enough, that was like a maybe Sunday or Monday. I think I talked to her. By that Saturday, he was dead. I always feel like they killed him, but I'm thinking he was not a skinny man. And so you have to lift yourself and pull yourself up on your haunches, on your elbows. You only got one leg. All it takes is a fall. He was 50. I mean, I feel like they killed him. So a part of me wants to do what I do for his unfulfilled life as well, because he died unfulfilled.
Yeah,
So
I get that. I really get that. I feel you.
had some real things happen in our family, and so yeah. I
And
my
there's this real
oh,
loyalty that we have to our family. And it's not always a conscious thing. Sometimes on some level we might hate our family or resent our family and think they're all, we don't want them. But on a deeper level, we're so loyal to them, and we don't want to surpass them. We don't want to make them feel bad, because think about it, if one person in your family is super successful, how do you think the other person is going to feel? The feeling, you don't want to make them feel bad. That's the thinking. You don't want to make them feel any worse than they are. So we keep ourselves small so that they'll feel better. But this is a story that we tell ourselves. And it's even when they're dead, it can still live on. It doesn't end when they die. It only ends when we claim it and we release the cycle. And that's an internal job. And that's the work that I do with people.
I love that, because I think part of it is accepting that I have a right to be successful. That
exactly.
Thought,
got to claim it.
Yeah, like I don't have a right. And
yeah.
It's nice just talking to you this little bit. I'm thinking I do. I shouldn't feel guilt. Sometimes I don't post certain things or victories, or I've caught myself doing that. So when you said that, I can relate, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to post that because people will think I'm bragging.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to share that. Oh, I shared too much of my face today.
Yeah. You don't want to make people feel bad. You don't want to be too big. It's like that tall poppy syndrome. You don't want to be too big, because then you're going to make people feel small, You don't want to get too big for your boots,
Oh, gosh. I've had so many ahas during this talk. That's amazing. It's so true.
Yeah. Especially for, minority people, for women, people who have been in that kind of, they've already been discriminated against. There's so much there.
Emma, I run a group it's called Black Women Promote. It's got 26,000 Black women in it. They're all business women, all entrepreneurs. One of the things I pick up in that group, and I think you're onto a mindset that might be in the Black community, but they're not as supportive of each other in that group as they should be. And I'm like, is it because I'm almost fearful sometimes? And I'm an admin to post about what I'm selling or doing or whatever, because I'm thinking they're thinking I'm trying to be too much, or I'm taking too much space. And isn't that weird that we had that fear that we're taking up too much energy or space from a collective?
But it's not weird, Adrienne, because not long ago, or even I'm sure I can remember, people, if you were too much, if you said anything, people would call you arrogant. Oh, you're just talking about yourself. You're full of yourself. People made you feel bad for talking about yourself and talking about your successes. So we have been shamed for talking about our successes. So there's this shame around that. There is this competitive idea that we don't want to make other people feel bad, and that people that are in this limitation mindset, sounds like the women you were just mentioning. If you think there's not enough to go around, you're going to be dog eat dog, aren't you? You're going to be like those crabs in the bucket,
Yep, I sense that.
You're going to be pulling everything out, but that's not the way we're going to rise. And my group is all about that. My group is all about, women supporting women and women rising together. Because that is where the real power comes, when we support each other, when we give and share. That's when you have true transformation, not when we're pulling each other down and competing. this is the old BS idea of hard work and not enough. It comes from a poverty mindset, you know. There's not enough to go around, so we have to pull everyone down to make sure nobody escapes.
So as a spiritual leader and as a person of color, what suggestions would you give to someone who's in a leadership position? How can I help to change that mindset? Because I feel it swirling around me when I go in that group. And
Right. You got to be the example. That's the only way. You got to shine your light and be the example. They're not going to change. They're not going to change for you. They're not going to change if you ask them to. You've got to be the example, and they have got to choose to match that vibration. That's it. You can't change anyone else. You cannot change anyone else. You're going to be banging your head against a brick wall. You can only change yourself, and then other people can match that or not. And that's okay, regardless what they do. You're not responsible for that. You're only responsible for yourself.
so just keep shining the light.
Exactly. It's pretty simple, isn't it? It feels light. You don't have to change anyone else. You just have to focus on yourself and be the energy that you are.
Yeah. And don't be afraid. I feel like there's a fear of being the light. So that's also part of it too. Like there's so much darkness, right?
And again, you know, living memory, women were burnt for being witches, for doing crazy, you know, not that long ago, you know. If you were doing any weird stuff, you know, you were punished for that. You were put down, especially women, you know, especially women. You know, women who were into anything esoteric were very much demonized and called witches, and people were afraid of them. So, you know, we carry that. It's called the witch wound.
We were talking about that in the last podcast, and I had said I had visions of myself that I was someone who was burned. Because
Okay, well, again, this is like, so you're carrying that in your energy field, and that can be released because, you know, that witch wound, you're carrying it around and you're trying to shine your light, but there's a part of you that's like, oh my God, if I show myself, they'll burn me, they'll kill me, you know. So imagine how hard that is.
Or whatever. What did they see?
Imagine how you're expecting yourself to like show yourself to the world when you've got this massive fear that you're going to be burned or that you're going to be killed, you know. That's a big ask, you know. So the way to do it is to work on the wound, so that to release that, so you don't have to carry that around anymore. It's not who you are now in this lifetime, in this now.
Yeah, I can honestly tell you, Emma, it's probably one of the main reasons I was 500 pounds until I was 50. It's because I was hiding. It was protected. It pure and simple. After I discovered about obesity, because I was severely morbidly obese, and I realized that all of that covering, like now when people tell me, "Oh, you look young," I'm like, "Yeah," because I was covered in fat. You know, I was preserved inside of that, like inside of a suit, completely hidden from the world. No one saw me. I don't even know if my family members knew my name. My nickname is Libby in my family. So when adrienneobey was all over the internet, they were like, "Oh, that's you, Libby?" They didn't even know me. Craziness. Crazy.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
See the power of you.
Yeah. I mean, a part of me I already know I'm probably am or was, you know, and spiritual minded. I guess back in the day they would call me the witch, but you know, and just the ability to reshape and remold who you are as an individual. Some people look at that as witchery too. So all of that has been, I guess, part of the issues that I've been dealing with. So I definitely want to hang out at your group. And I do want to mention this because I can't believe we've been an hour. I could talk to you forever. That Emma has a free offer here. And it says free fear to fulfillment call with me, where I will give you a free energy scan to find the top blocks holding you back. You've already picked up on mine, my goodness. Holding you back from the next level of success. Also, my free audio healing self-esteem to attract success. And you can find that at experiencetrueself.com/self-esteem. free gift.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to add, Emma?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're interested in what I say, what I'm talking about, if you resonate with it, I would love to have a conversation with you, and I'm happy to do that. And, you know, also you can join my Facebook group, which is for female entrepreneurs or women who are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, or if you don't have to have started yet, you just like you want to do something, and you don't know what it is yet, that's okay. That's okay. Come join my group and, you know, hang out. I do healings in there, and I'm also very active on a clubhouse. So, you know, if you want to experience my work, then you can also follow me there. I'm at Emma Lyons on Clubhouse, so I would love to follow you there. But I mean, what I would recommend is, you know, sign up on my mailing list and get that free gift, because you'll get a good example of what I do. It's an audio about, you know, stepping into releasing the self-esteem blocks and that keep you from success, because so much of success is about feeling like you're enough, like we were talking about, Adrienne. So this this audio is all about clearing those self-esteem blocks so you can have the success that you want.
This is wonderful. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to get a hold of this. And I could feel like you tapped into whatever my energy is right away. You just nailed it, whatever that was going on inside of me when it comes to the money block. And I just thank you so much, Emma. This has been amazing. And I think your Facebook group, is it? Oh, it's just a number here. But I will.
I can drop the link for that. Yeah, it's called female. Yeah. Well, I think you have the link for it already.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them in the YouTube and wherever it is so that people can get a hold of this and take advantage of your free offer as well.
Yeah, so come and talk to me. My group is called Passionate Female Entrepreneurs: Impact Through Abundance, Joy, and Success. So you can look for that, because what I know is that you can have a big impact and you can be successful through being abundant, through being joyful. It doesn't have to be hard work. It doesn't have to be the struggle. It doesn't have to be a slog. That's not the way. The way is joy.
The way is joy. Beautiful, Emma. Thank you so much. My heart is so full that you've been here today. I feel like I learned so much from you, and I am going to definitely hang out in your group. And is there any last thing that you want to say before I put on the music and party us on out?
Ooh, yeah, just, you know, don't die with your music inside you. Go and clear out your blocks, whether it be with me, you know, come and have that conversation, or with someone else. But life is too short to waste it doing, you know, shit you don't love. You know, you have a gift, and this is your time. Don't wait.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Emma. You completely rock. Okay, you do. Thank you. So we're gonna party on out, you guys. This has been Adrienne with Emma Lyons, and this is Astrology, a look inside. Much love, much light, many blessings to you all.
Much love, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody. I'm like, where's the party music?
Yeah, we need some party music.
There we go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I will party, Emma.
It's important to party, I think. I like to party. I haven't partied in a while. I'm into psychedelics as well, Adrienne.
Oh, yeah.
Using psychedelics as a gateway to, you know, other dimensions of reality.
Just moving your body. I always tell that to people. Doesn't matter what you're doing, just dance. That's all it is. Yeah. Love it. Blessings to you.
Bye, Adrienne. Lovely to meet you. It's been so beautiful. And you know, come hang out in my group and let's have a conversation. I would love to have a conversation about you. It's just between us, yeah?
I'm there. And I'm going to put the links up for you too.
Awesome. All right. Lovely to meet you. Honestly, it's been such a hard conversation.
I know.
So I appreciate that.
I feel like I've known you a million years. So just so you know that.
No, I feel your energy so strongly. Like I'm an empath, so when you feel something, I feel it too. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. I will talk to you soon.